Microphones on. Board of Zoning Appeals, let's call to order. June the 9th, 2025. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the meeting of May 12th, 2025.
So moved. Although, wait, isn't the May?
We didn't have a.
Oh, that's right. Right. Sorry.
Okay, are we good? Motion by Mr. King, second by Mr. Milborn. All those in favor, raise a hand. Motion carries 3-0. Any special requests for continuances?
None from staff.
Excuse me. Findings of fact. First one up is BCA 2025-015, Development Standards Variance for petitioner David Norris for the property located at 530 Oak Ridge Way.
In consideration of statutory criteria, I move that we adopt the written findings of fact as presented, incorporating the evidence submitted into the record as our final decision and final action for variance petition number BZA 2025-015.
Motion by Mr. King, second by Mr. Milborn. All those in favor, raise a hand. Motion carries 3-0. Next, findings of fact for BCA 2025-016, Development Standards Variance. Petitioner James Regan and Marky Ward for property located at 142 Easton Point Way.
Yes. And that's on the next page.
In consideration of the statutory criteria, I move that we adopt the written findings of fact as presented, incorporating the evidence submitted into the record as our final decision and final action for variance petition number BZA 2025-016.
Motion by Mr. King, second by Mr. Milborn. All those in favor, raise a hand. Motion carries 3-0. Last findings of fact, BCA 2025-017, Development Standards Variance, petitioner Zachariah Sims for property located at 709 Orchard Lane.
In consideration of the statutory criteria, I move that we adopt the written findings of fact as presented, incorporating the evidence submitted in the record as our final decision and final action for variance petition number BZA 2025-017.
Motion by Mr. King, second by Mr. Milburn. All those in favor, raise a hand. Motion carries 3-0. Any old business? Seeing none. Old business from the floor? Seeing none. New business. First up, BZA 2024-062 Development Standards Variance for 1197 Maplestone Drive. Petitioner Avtar Singh is requesting relief from the following sections of the Unified Development Ordinance. Section 10-02-12A, residential medium lot size development standards to reduce the side yard accessory setback from 8 feet to 0 feet. Anyone here on that petition? You need to stand and be sworn in.
Do you swear on oath of perjury, testimony is true to the best of your knowledge?
Somebody can speak with you?
I can't hear.
Do you need, oh, you're gonna have somebody,
Yeah.
he's gonna have somebody call.
Okay. Are they, you're calling them now?
I think speaking.
I think we have a translation via phone.
Okay.
Yes, I think.
Do I swear him in?
I would say it into the speakerphone to both of them, and he can translate.
Or you want to be ready to translate?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want me to speak? So, do you swear on oath of perjury, testimony is true to the best of your knowledge?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi there.
He needs to translate to the applicant.
Yeah, so are you translating?
Yes, I can translate it. And
Yeah,
so I'm aware about the whole situation as well. I've been exchanging emails since last 2 years, so I'm aware of the both situations if you want to
Okay.
ask.
So only,
He can't,
only he can testify, because the guy on the phone cannot see him, so he can only translate.
So you can only translate.
Cannot testify unless there's video. There is a Zoom option for video.
So can you hop on Zoom?
Sure, I can try that.
Okay, that way, you can be on video and then you can, give testimony.
You just a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Go to my home office downstairs and join.
Okay,
Ask him if he needs,
Oh.
if he has a copy of the agenda.
Do
It's
you
on the agenda.
need us to send you a copy of the agenda with the link.
I have that in the email,
Okay,
but only thing I understood from that is there's a meeting today at 6 p.m. and 5:45 it's open, things like that.
Yes.
And you guys gonna discuss about the gazebo, the county part of it, and you guys gonna be taking a decision.
yes, there should be an agenda attached to that email.
Correct.
Yes, okay, so they just said the agenda was attached. And then if you open it up, the Zoom info is at the bottom.
Yes, correct.
Okay,
Yes, so just in 2-3 minutes, I'll be downstairs and I'll join.
okay,
Sounds good. Sounds good.
yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
so we need to
Well-
wait.
Yeah, we can, what we could do is we can wait for him to join Zoom. Or if our other petitioner is ready, we could have our other petitioner go first, but if,
I would have the other petitioner first, because they're on. I would have the second one.
but I don't know if the
Okay.
second petitioner has video either.
Can we switch the view or something to show us? Because it's only showing 2 cells. You could have a third, even if they're by a phone, it'll show the participant.
Yeah, but they have to be seen, or they
Yeah.
cannot present.
Right, but
IT, do you have the ability to show who else is on, even if it's just a phone number?
Then we can know if there's someone there to talk to.
because we've done that before.
Catherine?
Hi, this is Catherine.
Catherine, do you have video?
Hi, let me check.
Maybe it will be a race to see who can get on.
Well, the participant number just changed to 4, so somebody's,
Okay.
And Mr. Singh, are you on?
That's
there's
Mr.
Catherine.
Singh there. Okay, that's Catherine.
Hi, Catherine.
Let's go.
Hi there.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead out of order and take care of petition BCA 2025-018 first. This is for Development Standards Variance 202 West Wiley Street. Petitioner Catherine Woodward requesting relief from the following section of the Unified Development Ordinance. Section 1002-26A, Old Town Residential Development Standards to reduce the accessory building setback 5 feet from the front property line. So Catherine is here. We need to get you sworn in. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Do you swear to this perjury, the testimony is true to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay, before we go to you, we need to check to make sure that all the, excuse me, notices are in order.
And
Okay.
I'm sorry, I had the wrong one pulled up. I believe they are. Can I quick check this?
Okay. Hang on just a moment, Ms. Woodward.
Yep, no problem. Take your time.
Catherine, while I try to pull this up, can you just confirm that you did the mailing and the newspaper notice?
Yes, we did.
Looks like they did. Correct, they were in our file.
I submit the
Okay,
unified agreement, development ordinance and comprehensive plan.
Okay, so we're ready to move forward. Ms. Woodward, tell us why you're here.
I am trying to get the setback adjusted a little bit in our backyard. We just learned that because we're on a corner, our side yard is considered a front yard. And we're trying to get a pool installed back there, just a small 15-foot pool. But because of the size of the technical backyard, we need to push it out to the corner as much as possible. And we would like to put it in the corner that is closest to the driveway, which is in the back of the house facing Smart Street, and the corner of the yard that's considered a front yard, or which to us is a side yard, that faces Smart Street. So the front of our yard, where our front door is on Wiley. But we would like to reduce the setback to 5 foot from the property line back there, just at Smart Street. So it would accommodate that pool for us.
Okay. Now, do you remember completing the detailed statement of reasons addressing the necessary criteria for this variance request?
Yes, I do.
And is everything in there a complete statement of reasons that you submitted?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and are you asking the board to enter that staff report into the evidence
Yes,
and consider your detailed statement of reasons when making its decision
Yes.
on the variance request?
Yes, please.
Do you have anything else you would like to add supporting your variance request that's not contained within the detailed statement of reasons?
I think that's it. We had talked with all of the neighbors that are around and checked with them. They all received their letters, and a lot of them came up to us in the weeks ahead of this meeting and said that they were okay with what we were proposing to do, and they had no problem with it. So we haven't had any negative feedback, but I just wanted to share the positive responses that we've got from many of our neighbors here. And that was it.
Okay. Staff, I see you have some comments.
Yes, we do. So, given the challenges with this property being a corner lot and being rather small, we did think that a practical difficulty did exist. However, during a site visit, we observed a newly constructed 6-foot privacy fence, and the fence is in violation of 3 zoning regulations. The first one is that fences must be located at least 2 feet behind a sidewalk. Second is fences in front yards are limited to 4 feet in height. And the third one is fences in front yards must be at least 50% transparent. So regarding the variance request, staff recommends approval with the condition that the fence violations will be taken care of and a pool permit is granted from our building department.
Okay, Ms. Woodward, did you understand the conditions that the staff is recommending?
It sounded like they wanted us to make changes to the fence.
Yes. And are you having any issues with those conditions that they recommend? Any concerns?
Well, I obviously wouldn't like to do that. I don't know what the issues are with the fence. I mean, other than what she just said, I understand. But the fence was there.
But, okay, you understand
Yeah,
the fences there is in violation of 3 ordinances.
Okay, we just moved in at the end of March.
Change if I did have that much for variance.
Okay, But since they are in violation, you either have to fix them or apply for variances for those fences, which would have to be a separate variance request than what you have right now.
Would the previous owner need to do that, or would we
No.
need to do that?
Whoever is the owner now would be responsible for doing that. If you wanted to move forward, you would have to take care of having that addressed, but it'll be a separate variance request. It's not, cannot be part of this one. This one, you're only looking for the setback
Okay,
from the property line. The fence
Oh.
issue is a completely different issue.
okay, and those can't be combined?
No,
Okay, and we have to take care of the fence even if it was put here before we moved in?
That is correct.
Okay. How would we know what other violations this house might have? Before we bought it? That's got me very concerned, but I'll contact the previous owner about that.
okay, now you understand we're not saying you have to change the fence right now. If you get approval for the variance that you might want to do to get the fence you have approved, that's a separate thing that you would have to apply for. If that's approved, you won't have to change it. However, if it's disapproved, you would have to change it.
Okay,
You understand what I'm saying?
yes.
Okay.
So the options are I either have to apply for the variance or we have to change it.
Yes, that's strictly on the fence side. We're not talking about the fence side tonight. We're only talking about where you can put the pool away from the property line.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, I just want to make sure you're clear on that. I don't want to confuse issues because you actually have two things going on.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and then the second condition, of course, you would have to get a pool permit to be able to put the pool in. It's just a matter, right now you're looking at the setback for us, but a condition of getting the setback approved. If you're wanting to put the pool in, you'll have to get a pool permit. That's separate, completely separate from this as well. They're just different pieces of the process. And we don't want you getting confused because there are separate parts of this whole thing.
Okay.
Okay? Anyone
All right.
wishing to, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Do I wait until the completion of the pool setback variant? Obviously,
We'll take
before I
care of
move
that
on with
tonight.
the.
Yeah, we're going to take care of that tonight. Then you move forward with the rest of the process. But right now, we're looking at the setback, say, hey, that's okay, or it's not okay. If it's okay, then you need to move forward with the rest of it.
Okay, thanks for explaining that.
Okay.
Yep.
Anyone else here wishing to speak on this petition? I'll close the public hearing and I'll turn to the panel. Mr. Milburn, do you have any questions?
No, I was thinking there was two fences, but. It's
It's really just
one fence.
one fence. It's not.
Okay, Mr. King, you have any questions?
No. I didn't know there were pool permits in the city, so I've learned.
I believe it's anything the depth of 4 feet,
Above or below ground, I mean, like,
either.
Okay,
did not know that.
learning all sorts of things tonight. Okay, and I have no comments or questions. I'll entertain a motion to enter the evidence into the record.
I move that we admit all the evidence presented in regard to this matter, including the notices, receipts, maps, photographs, written documents, petitioner's application and attachments, petitioner's detailed statement of reasons, the staff report prepared by the planning department, certified copies of the Unified Development Ordinance and Comprehensive Plan, testimony of the petitioner, city planning staff, and any demonstrators, and all other exhibits presented, be they oral or written, for consideration by this board, in regard to this petition and to include the testimony of those present this evening.
Motion by Mr. King, second by Mr. Milborn. All those in favor, raise a hand. Motion carries 3-0. Next, I'll entertain a motion on the decision.
I move that we approve the request with the two conditions in the staff report. One, the existing fence violations must either be corrected or the petitioner must apply for additional variances, which would require approval from the Board of Zoning Appeals. And two, a pool permit is granted from the building division.
Motion by Mr. King, second by Mr. Milborn. All those in favor, raise a hand. That motion carries 3-0. I'll entertain a motion for issuing findings of fact.
Thank you.
Having considered the standard statutory criteria, I move that we direct the Corporation Counsel's Office to draft written findings of fact regarding our decision on the variances request presented in the variance number BZA, I got my glasses on, 2025-18, sorry. Said findings to specifically incorporate the staff report, the evidence of submitted into the record for consideration and adoption by the Board of Zoning Appeals as our final decision and final action regarding this petition at our next meeting.
Motion by Mr. Milborn, second by Mr. King. All those in favor, raise a hand. Motion carries 3-0. Ms. Woodward, we have approved the variance request with the two conditions that we talked about with the fence and the permit for the pool. We'll make final action next meeting, which is in 2 weeks. You do not have to be in appearance for that, but you'll need to work with the staff on moving forward with the other parts of the other conditions as a part of this petition. But as far as meeting the setback criteria, we have approved that request.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Next up, we have going back to BZA 2024-062 variance petition for 1197 Maplestone Drive. Do we have your translator online?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Okay, we need to see you.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening. Before you can speak, we'll need to get you sworn in. Is Mr. Singh going to be speaking, or will you be speaking on his behalf?
I can translate for him.
Okay, so if you're both going to be speaking, I'll need to get you both sworn in. Can you raise your hand, and our secretary will get you sworn in.
Do you swear on penalty of perjury the testimony is true to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
Can you let him know he needs to say I do?
Virji, I do, bulldozer.
I do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Before we get started, are all of the documents in order?
They are in order and in our file.
Submit the Unified Development Ordinance and the comprehensive plan for the city of Greenwood.
Okay, now, can you give us your name? I don't have that of record.
My name is Mandeep Singh and his name is Avtar Singh.
Can you go ahead and spell your name, because I'm not sure how to spell it.
Sure. M as in Mike, A Alpha, N Nancy, D Delta, E Echo, P as in Papa, and last name Singh, S-I-N-G-H.
Okay, and we've got his name already in the record.
Correct.
Can you go ahead and tell us what this request is about?
Yes, ma'am. This property lot is very much raised, and there is a steep slope in the backyard. And we installed a gazebo at a place where there's a flat surface. That's the only surface where we could put concrete and put gazebo on the top. So we installed that, and this he's a first-time home buyer. He did not know that he has to apply for permit or anything else. He moved from India, and in India is like if you have a lot, you can do whatever you want on it. But so after we installed it, we found out that it was very close to the property line. It's still inside the property on the lot, but it's very close to the property line, not exactly more than 8 feet away. So that's why we requested for the what you call like let it be there and not I mean just let the gazebo be there. That's a request we have.
Okay, are you familiar with the information that was provided regarding the statements and reasons for this petition, citing the necessary reasons?
Necessary reasons for why it was built there?
No. To apply for the variance, there are certain criteria that need to be met, and there was a response submitted. I'm not sure who submitted it. Mr. Singh might not have because of the translation issue, but somebody submitted some information supporting the reasons. Are you familiar with those?
Yes, a little bit, yes. I think the main reason was the steep in the back, which is steep slope in the backyard. That was one of the reasons. Second was where we built this, that's the only flat surface on the lot property lot where we could build it.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
The main reason I'm asking is because what was submitted did not include that, but that's okay because you're submitting that as oral testimony right now. I want to make sure that what was submitted was agreeable to be put into the evidence. Let's see, so that we can have that into the official record regarding this petition.
Yes, ma'am. I don't have the document with me right now, but yes, I think I did the translation. What he told me, I did write down.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly what was it, but that was submitted to Kevin and Gabriel, two people. I remember the names.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
We want a blast from the past. I can read the statements.
No, that's fine.
That's fine.
Okay.
Perfect.
So as long as you all are in agreement, we'll put those as a matter of record. We won't have to read them into the record. We'll take those and go ahead and put them into the record as is.
Yes, please.
Okay. And I'm just wanting to make sure that if there's anything else that needs to be said on this request, like I said, the part about the sloping of the property, that was not part of the narrative. So that was information that is part of your request for this approval. Okay. Anything else before I move on to the staff for their comments?
I think that is it, ma'am. This is just a humble request. That's all. It's a family of 4, and they literally living on basics. One kid has autism, and he's the only person making money in the family, putting food on the table. So somehow he uses savings to build this for the family and hasn't been able to use it since last 2 years, since he was told not to even put furniture on it. So just a humble request from him and my side that please let the gazebo be there so he can just, enjoy it like everybody else in the backyard.
Okay, we'll move on to the staff with their comments.
Sure. So for this one, we did provide a little bit of background on this. This stop work order was issued after it was already constructed in October of 2023 by one of our building inspectors. Once they found out that they needed a permit for the structure, there was a number of things that it did not meet, and that is why we were before you here today at BZA. They also had an encroachment
And then they also constructed in the floodplain, so they needed a DNR letter and pending, if everything is approved, they'll also need a local floodplain permit, although that is not issued until it is confirmed that there are no outstanding issues with the property, so they do not have that at this time. For this petition, staff did provide an unfavorable recommendation. For this one, we are, I think, sympathetic to the situation. However, it does appear that that this is a large lot. There are possibly other locations, like we had mentioned, and that this was more of a self-created hardship, the location of it without the permit, and that it did not meet the criteria for a hardship out on this lot. So we didn't feel like there was a practical difficulty that wasn't self-inflicted, and so we did not recommend a favorable recommendation.
Okay, Mr. Singh, did you hear the staff's comments? Did you have
Yeah.
any response that you would like to provide to those comments?
I mean, definitely he is admitting to his mistake of not applying for permit. It's just we did not know that a permit was needed or anything else what it was to be done. Looking at the lot, we did call the construction company. They recommended that's a place where we could put the gazebo and concrete pad on. And we went with that recommendation. There was nobody else to, we didn't have no guidance or anything else to put it somewhere else, or even a space to put it somewhere else. So that was just an innocent thing, not like we wanted to do it intentionally, but since now it's built, we have invested the money in it, so all we can do is humbly request you to approve it.
Okay, does anyone else have any comments? Okay, I'll close the public hearing. And go to the panel. Mr. Milburn, do you have any comments or questions?
No, I don't think so.
Mr. King?
No, I don't think I.
Okay, well, I did drive by there. I did look at the property. There's only a small area that is leveled on that property, and it looks like that is where they chose to put that gazebo. I'm asking the staff where they thought that there was other level areas that I could not see.
Without applying for a permit, we did not have a chance to review the gazebo before it was put in place.
I understand that.
There may not have been I can't give you an answer to where that level place is. You can level ground to put the gazebo on it. If there was ground that was further up, not in the floodplain or the easement, or maybe they could have added additional dirt, or there's other ways to level a building that they could have done that for the foundation. But I think what really it comes down to is we did not have the chance to review, to go through this permit process, and that we feel that it was self-inflicted. And I would say in our crafting of the staff report, that was not I don't believe that was a criteria that was submitted.
No, that being submitted now with the oral testimony, that I think, I'm just wondering how much would that make in terms of impact, because I'm seeing the practical difficulty is trying to change the whole property just to make land flat is not being, I guess, something a little concerning for me. I understand that they submitted as a financial, which of course we would have to discount completely, but I'm more concerned about, is there practical difficulty because the land, the way the land is sloped and not having a lot of options. I guess my question is because you said there was a lot of other space, I'm not so sure I could see a lot of other space when I looked at it, but maybe I'm not looking at it correctly.
Just going to it quickly on my computer. The site is 0.33 acres, is kind of a triangular shaped site. The contour lines on Beacon, which aren't always reflecting reality, Beacon has a level of error. Do show a slope going down to the stream where the floodplain is. It doesn't, and Beacon could be out of date. Shows about a 1 foot slope throughout the property, going from 776 to 777 to 778 at the road.
Staff would have to do an analysis of the topography in the site, but that wasn't necessarily submitted in their statutory criteria. And with this being something that was built without a permit, there was not a chance for staff to review this site.
And it appears, based on what I'm seeing, that they did get the sort of blessing from the other folks with the DNR and the
Correct. They have
Board of Public Works.
They have a Board of Public Works and Safety encroachment for the variable drainage utility easement. And then in August 25 of 2024, DNR had issued a letter of authorization for it. As I mentioned, they would also need a local flood permit since it
Which
is.
could be a condition if we choose to move forward because of the new information that we have.
It could be a condition. If you'd like to make it one, they'll need it no matter what, even if it's not a
Okay, so we
condition,
don't
if
have
it's
to.
approved.
Okay.
But that would not be something that would be issued if there were still outstanding
We understand.
concerns with the project.
So that could negate anything that we would do if it's still an issue.
Yes, and with it being a gazebo, which is mostly open space, it would likely meet the criteria for a local floodplain permit.
Okay.
So but I would not be able to issue one if there was an outstanding violation or issue, which is what we currently have is from 2023 till now, this has been in violation for work without a permit.
Appreciate that. Anything else? Any other questions or comments from the staff? I mean, from the board? Okay, then I will entertain a motion to enter the evidence into the record.
I move that we admit all the evidence presented in regard to this matter, including the notices, receipts, maps, photographs, written documents, petitioner's application and attachments, petitioner's detailed statement of reasons, the staff report prepared by the planning department, certified copies of the Unified Development Ordinance and Comprehensive Plan, testimony of petitioner, city planning staff, and any demonstrators. All other exhibits presented, be they oral or written, for consideration by this board in regard to this petition, and to include the testimony of those present this evening.
Motion by Mr. King, second by Mr. Milborn. All those in favor, raise a hand. Motion carries 3-0. I'll entertain a motion on the decision.
I move that we approve the request, the statutory criteria being met.
And since we don't have to put in anything regarding the floodplain, because that would be automatic, we won't have to have any conditions.
Correct, he's already aware of the local floodplain, and that would be something that, I would work with him on the form.
Okay. Okay, motion by Mr. King, second by Mr. Milborn. All those in favor, raise a hand. Motion carries 3-0. And I will entertain a motion for issuing the findings of fact.
Consider the statutory criteria, I move that we direct the Corporation Counsel's Office to draft written findings of fact regarding our decision on the variance. The request presented in variance petition number BZA 2024-062. Said findings to specifically incorporate the staff report and the evidence submitted into the record for consideration and adoption by the Board of Zoning Appeals as our final decision and final action regarding this petition at our next meeting.
Motion by Mr. King, second by Mr. Milborn. All those in favor, raise a hand. Motion carries 3-0. Okay, Mr. Singh, we have approved the petition. You need to explain to the petitioner that he'll need to get with the city regarding the next steps to make sure that all the other pieces of this are taken care of so that it's actually totally approved.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
And we will be making our final decision in 2 weeks. No one needs to appear for that. It'll be a formality and we'll take care of it then.
Yeah, just reach out to Kevin Talati and myself, and we will help with the last form. There's a local floodplain permit that we cannot release until everything is okay with the Board of Zoning Appeals. And now that they have approved that, we can work with you on that last form. There's no fee for that form.
Sounds very good. What is your name, sir?
Gabe Nelson.
Oh, Gabriel. Okay.
We have met before.
Okay. Yes. Sounds good.
Okay,
I will do that. Yes, ma'am. Thank you,
All right.
everyone.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, new business from the floor. Oh, sorry.
Something, this is kind of a all-encompassing thing. Is there a possibility that we could make the realtors have a document when they sell a house that said, I will contact the principality, of where this house is? And that way we would maybe have things like this happen.
So we do have something like that, now that the, I guess referring to maybe the fence that was in the last one.
Okay.
A lot of people will come in with a zoning verification or zoning compliance letter. And the city will actually prepare a letter that we will certify. To get one of these letters, there's a small fee with that. But a lot of time, if a bank is going to back a loan, they will make sure they get a zoning verification letter. And we'll look at the property to see if there are any violations outstanding on the property, if there's been any illegal structures, etc. So that's called a zoning verification letter. We do have that. As far as realtors communicating to people standards or if a shed is required or not, I mean, that's something that we can definitely look into as staff. I do know that in their specific subdivision, I think every single one of them has been dinged and for an illegal structure, and they have all been told about this and talked to each other. So I don't necessarily know if it is because they didn't know that they needed one or not, but that is speculation.
The reason I brought that up, my subdivision, which is Pines of Greenwood, we were told by our attorney who has since passed 3 or 4 years ago that we had passed it, we could put up a shed, we could put up a fence and this, that, and the other. So, you know, that's all they said. And I put my fence up in 2014. It is still standing.
Yeah.
But, you're not gonna build me on it.
Yeah,
But-
no, fences don't need a permit.
Yeah.
You could construct them without a permit, but if they're going into an easement,
Yeah.
or if they're, too close to the sidewalk or exceeding a certain height. So we've got some rules, but not necessarily a permit.
I'm thinking long-term of making sure, like the lady said, she wanted to be 0 foot on that fence, I believe, and,
And I will say there is some responsibility for people moving to the city to familiarize themselves with the local ordinance, to call our office, to check. I don't think, we can definitely do a better job of educating the public, but I do think there's also a responsibility of a homeowner to do some research themselves.
Let's move on. And, we addressed, there's no new business from the floor. Any announcements?
None for me. I know Kevin's working on the next staff report, so we'll have an agenda next
So
time.
say, is it looking heavy or is it looking average?
I think it was average. I think
Okay.
it's two reports. I think it's 2 items.
Okay. All right, anything else? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
And we're done. Thank you.
Thank you.
that's the part.